What is going on, folks? I'm Goat. Welcome back to Warframe. Hi. So obviously I shot the Calervo video, and by the way, if you see this particular problem popping up, it is a controller data stream issue that I'm having. So if you see me sight in for no weird fucking reason in an odd spot, or my chat window pops up during a pause menu, that is what it is. Sorry. So obviously I shot the 7 Crimes of Kullervo video, audio me not doing any overlay audio or anything on the first half of that video. But I just, wife was working, and honestly, I just kind of wanted to show it how it was. So, but then, went back with the guys and did it again as a group just to, kind of see how that went. And then here we sit with Calervo, right? In all of his glory. Yes, I have all the daggers out of him because honestly, I find the daggers to be a tad bit intrusive, okay? Like all the blades sticking out of them, they just kind of annoy the shit out of me. It's kind of like Cora with all of her blade things. So the baneful blades go the fuck away. I personally think that this kind of domino color scheme has actually set me on a trail of changing all of my Warframe colors to more of a domino kind of color effect, because I just think it looks really good. But yeah, so that's just me. So we're here to talk about Calervo. We're here to talk about the Rauta shotgun, which is his primary, and then I have no idea why the hell the Glaive Prime is on here. That is dumb. We're also here to talk about an Incarnon weapon. We're gonna do the trifecta here of yes, please, and we're gonna do probably, at least thus far, what I find to be the absolute best fucking melee out of the Incarnon Genesis. This thing is, people were talking it up to me, man, and you know what? I feel it. We're also going to talk about the Furis. We're already here. We might as well just knock this whole bag out. So let's talk about the elephant in the room being Calervo's primary weapon. So Calervo's signature weapon boasts melee synergy. Every shot that lands increases the wielder's melee combo count. When Calervo wields Rauta, it also increases his melee combo duration. That is literally the only good thing about this weapon. Not even joking. I've got 5 form in this motherfucker. This thing is poop. Considering that you can build combo, especially with something like a dagger, very, very quickly anyway, and Calervo's second ability gives you the ability to build combo as well, this thing is just a bit of redundancy, which is fine under normal circumstances if it worked well. So statistically speaking, this is the build that I went to. Now, when you first look at this weapon unmodded, you're thinking 12% status per projectile with a 2 multiplier. So it's status-based shotgun. It's not too terribly statted. Could be better. Would have preferably liked to have seen like 20% status per projectile, given the way most shotguns have been going these days. I think 12 is pretty fucking low, especially when that's its base function. But it's primary slash, which is good, and then puncture and impact are evenly statted, no other elements to speak of. So here we are with a 5 forma build, and yes, you can see I've got shotgun barrage on here because the fire rate on this thing is atrocious. Also fatal acceleration. You can use the galvanized version if you choose, but you actually have to kill people with it to be able for that to actually do something positive. And this thing kind of has a hard time doing that on the steel path. It kills, don't get me wrong, but it is an extremely close quarters weapon. Like if you are standing face to face with somebody and you pop them, great, it works. So this thing, for all intents and purposes, is a status-based fucking squirrel gun. It says it's doing 16,000 points of stack damage at a 16.8 multiplier, or a 16.8 multi-shot. I'm here to tell you that if every fucking pellet struck one individual target, it might hit 16,000, but under normal circumstances, it does not. So we're not going to use this gun, because aside from what its perks are while Calervo is wielding this damn thing, well, it works with every frame as far as the combo count increase, and then the combo duration with Calervo makes it interesting to think about. So if you want to use it just as a point of, fire off of, a mag and then, go melee ham with it, great, because that's what Calervo is based on. And considering the Calervo fight has Calervo wielding a heavy blade, I don't understand why this even exists. I really don't, especially as poorly statted as this weapon is. I don't understand why this gun exists. It's just garbage. What I did find, though, is that the Torrid is actually an amazing fucking partnering with it. So now we're going to go to the Furis. Yes, we will get to Calervo. The most interesting part of this is Calervo and the Ceramic Dagger, personally. So Evolution 2, I went with plus 28 and with Overshields plus 30 on damage. Now with Calervo, he has no goddamn shields, so this secondary perk does absolutely fucking nothing. You do you. I was wielding this with, I've got this on Hildren, which is why it is set that way. So... but it is what it is. It's still, it doesn't matter. This thing is basically like a fucking Ignis Wraith pistol. Increased mag capacity by 25 is actually pretty functional considering the mag capacity is a little low on this, although as you're going to see on the front end stats, this thing has a hard time killing steel path enemies on its primary side, which is actually of a benefit in comparison to most of the Incarnon weapons, because that benefit gives you, it doesn't kill the fucking enemies when you shoot them in the face. So it gives you more Incarnon charge on the same enemy. So you can just sit there and tap a motherfucker in his chin and have a nice day. You've got your Incarnon mode very quickly with this thing, as long as you can aim. And with me, it's question mark. As I said, it's like an Ignis Wraith, except in a pistol form. So I went with the increased status chance. So the build is 4 Forma, using Cascadia Flare, because I wanted to use the heat proc of the Incarnon side. And the Incarnon side is very much heat heavy. Yeah. So, but I also wanted to keep the critical in here for the Incarnon side. So 78 crit on the Incarnon form, 7.1 multiplier, yep, and 187.2 status with a 208.8 or 204.8 heat and a 153.6 viral. And then, of course, Cascadia Flare is just this exponential fucking stacking of damage percentage on heat procs. You're going to get them with this. But like I said, on the front end of this gun, that 25 puts you up to 60. So instead of 35 rounds, you got 60 rounds, so that's good. But it's 15% crit, 4.2 multiplier, and 144% status, and it's very low base damage. So this thing really does have a hard time killing. Now, there is other ways to do this. You don't actually have to have galvanized shot on here. I mean, you can do a scope build on this thing, or a sighted build. So like bladed rounds and, oh, fuck me, what is the other one? I always forget it. Galvanized crosshairs. So you can do bladed rounds and galvanized crosshairs, so... that's an entire possibility if you want to go that route and just bypass doing, scorch and galvanized shot, because it's still going to be pretty heat heavy, but you may have to dial it down a bit on the viral just to keep the heat heavy for the Cascadia Flare, because believe me, that really is kind of the home ticker for this thing. So yeah, we'll see this thing functioning. Ceramic Dagger. Evolutions are... base 120 on shield break. Again, this has nothing to do with Calervo, although I'm probably going to change this because this is going to be Calervo's melee, no doubt about it. But on shield break, increased damage by plus 80 for 8 seconds. So yeah, I'm going to look at the other Incarnons for that to see what fits Calervo a little better. +1 range for a dagger is never a bad thing, because the range typically sucks balls on a dagger, so that's good. And then increased crit by 30% because we want more damage. The build is a Blood Rush viral, base damage crit build. And the upfront damage, 128%, 3.8 multiplier. And that is with Gladiator Might and Organ Shatter, so it's a very low damage multiplier, interestingly enough. And it's just impact puncture viral. No heat, because I honestly wanted to go more with as much stacked critical damage as possible. And then the Incarnon form, here we go with stats, 128% crit, 3.8 multiplier, 41% status, and it's doing impact, puncture, and viral yet again. So, two damage types, especially the puncture is like, whatever. But the heavy attack on this thing is fucking stupid. And the beauty about Calervo is that he gives his passive as a 75% attack efficiency. So, like, there is a lot of ways that you could build this particular weapon to really work the benefits, like, adding reflex coil to this in place of something else. Like, you take quickening off, that's fine, because you can get additional combo from his 2. or just using the damn thing. So if you want to lose a little attack speed, you could put reflex coil in here and just absolutely, you know, percentage cap the heavy attack efficiency, which is even better. That's on you. Just depends on, I personally like a speedy weapon. So this is my build, and we'll just see it functioning. We've already seen the Torrid. Well, maybe. Can't remember now, actually. Has the Torrid posted? Let me look. No. No, we actually have not. You'll see the Torrid later. Okay, it's coming up. Let's just say it's good. Okay, it's really fucking good. So, Calervo. Now, Wrathful Advance. You tap the ability, charges a fucking heavy attack, then teleports to his target and strikes. Now, if you use this in conjunction with using his third ability, you can just mop a fucking room. Okay, if you hold, you teleport to the marked location. Now that's a little bit more on the tricky side, because that teleport is, it really does help you move really quickly, but you're also kind of limited by like doorways and how high the ceilings are and shit. So it's a little interesting. Like I think there's a little bit of room to be improved on this one. And I will say the reason I've been holding on to this video is because I knew that the dev stream was coming, which was yesterday. It was because of his second ability. This first ability is absolutely fucking brutal, okay? Now, just so you're aware, the Archon Shards, I've got 2 Tau Forge for armor, okay? Because we like damage reduction. 85.2 damage reduction with the build, and then 3 Crimsons for ability duration. Oh, I did not do that. Oh, I did. Yes, I did. Fuck me. Because I took that off. That's right. Nope, that's right. 276% damage is more than enough. Trust me. I mean, as you see, just by... See, here we go with that bullshit again. As you can see, 552% upfront melee crit chance is just absolutely brutality at its finest, okay? So, recompense. Basically, Kullervo throws out daggers. And it's 10 daggers, and depending on how much health the enemies can take, basically if you're on the steel path, you're gonna whack like 4 fucking enemies. So you just need to be very near 4 enemies, like within the range of the ability, 12.8 meters. As long as you're within 12.8 meters of 4 steel path enemies, you're gonna be fine. If not, you could actually down yourself with too much ability strength. Now, this ability also is a self-healing ability when it strikes enemies. That's great. And it also gives you a maximum cap of 5,000 overguard, which basically gives you prime sure-footed as long as overguard is there. That's fine. But the overguard melts like being wrapped in wet tissue paper. Okay? It's very weak. Now, DE did say that they're going to try to work on it, thanks to the dev stream, but it's not going to be anytime soon. So this is just kind of a thing that you just need to get used to, at least for the moment. Hopefully when they fix it, it will be so much better. But basically every time a dagger strikes an enemy, it's 552 health gained back, and health drain if you get stabbed of 96.6 with my build. You go stupid OP like 5 fucking Tau Forge, Crimson Shards for ability strength, and you could fuck your day up really bad. Collective Curse. Basically, link enemies, kill them all, and you redirect 100% of the damage with this build at a 65-degree angle, which is really, really funny, because basically that means it can go around corners and shit. And if you create a loop, if you're lucky enough to hit a group of enemies and actually loop the chain together, the damage will just keep going until they're fucking dead. So it's really a hilarious way to mop a fucking crowd, okay? And with the range on this thing being 40 meters, it's really stupid. It's great duration, good range. I'm not mad at this. And then Storm of Ukko. Now, I actually initially, I was really testing this ability. This is an ability that you could get rid of if you want to. And I've seen people do like Nourish and Roar and all sorts of shit. And honestly, I'm just leaving it on here because from my position, it's actually kind of a funky crowd control. It's kind of like Zaku's gaze ability. Basically, you know, if an enemy steps into the area, they get stabbed with slash damage. And no, they don't have to be struck by the flying daggers by the appearance sake. I think it's just if they step in the area, they immediately just start getting procced with a DOT fucking slash per second damage until they're either dead or they step out of the fucking area. Which if they do step out of the area, the damage immediately fucking stops as far as I can tell. So it's only while they're within the aura area of the cast of the ability. So again, 6,900 slash per second, given the amount of damage that, you know, given the amount of health and armor that a lot of Steel Path enemies have, this is a good primer, but this is definitely not really what I would call a killer without actually hitting them with something else. but it's not a bad ability. Like, as of yet, the only weird thing about Calervo to me is his overguard. I think it's funky. Now, I did do a Nourish test build because I was dared to by a Twitch streamer. And yes, it works, but honestly, it's just like, for me, it's just unnecessary. It works. I mean, it's an energy regen. It's, you know, adding viral to your fucking build. It's, you know, to your weapons. It's not bad. It's really not. Like, I'll show you the build. It's identical. It's just Nourish instead of Storm of Vuko. So you can see Nourish sub. So the base kit. Overall stats: 1,725 armor, 638 energy, 204 health, 2,407 health, 138 duration, 160 range, and 276 ability strength. And yes, you can see exactly that is 6 fucking forma. That's an aura forma, an umbra forma, and 4 standards. Now, normally, I wouldn't put an umbra forma on a new frame, especially with the overguard goof. It could potentially bite me in the butt because I may not need it. The overguard all of a sudden gets stiffened up for Calervo. Umbral fiber is really not going to be that necessary because I can put adaptation on there, but adaptation doesn't start ticking until the overguard is down. So much like Rhino's ferrite armor was initially doing, basically something had to hit your health for adaptation to kick. So if something hits the overguard and not your health, adaptation doesn't fucking work. So take that into account. Like, if you're just going to try to just health tank like a motherfucker and run, like, you know, Arcane Grace and, like, Arcane Reaper, you know, that's a good plausibility because with this much health, Arcane Grace is absolutely going to tick, and then obviously Arcane Reaper is going to do its job as well for health regen. So, I mean, it's entirely possible. But Calervo really wants armor. He wants health, if possible. At least for casual, and you gotta again understand, this is for casual gameplay, okay? This is not for, like, some kind of insane endurance run build. It's not. But this absolutely does the job. But you can also get killed by one Eximus tap. Okay? I just want to put that out there right now. Because of the overguard goof, you can absolutely get blasted with an Eximus tap. And you know what? I'm going to do something. Since the Tord video is already shot and it is coming up, I'm going to put a different weapon on here. You know, I'll just put 10 Arcoplasma. That'll work. I just don't want to run that video. Again, I mean, when the Tord comes up, just get it. It's 100% worth it. So, let's go to my usual, to the void, to Ani, and let's go play. My god, it is muggy in this fucking room, and I am really dizzy. Good times, baby, good times. Okay.
Your weapons make music.
So, get his energy charged up. Really, I have to say, I have been having a lot of fun with this frame. You can see the combo count down there below. When you hit enemies, you will see that combo count go up. I also tried with the Athazane, and I tried with, the Azathane, the Glaive Prime, and the Paracesis. And actually, the Glaive Prime works with his first ability, but it's a little meh. And then, I mean, it works. I mean, Glaive Prime's just fucking powerful as shit anyway. Paracesis was very slow, and the Azathane was very good. But personally, I have just found that this son of a bitch, the Ceramic Dagger, so hit some enemies. Now watch, chain some enemies together. Cool. Hi, guys. Yeah, and I would highly recommend not linking the first link of his third ability onto an Eximus. It seems like the Overguard actually dampens the damage. Wish that would work for Calervo that way. That'd be nice. Excuse me, fellas. It'll be linked. Good times. So as far as his first ability, and that's with absolutely no combo built up. So as far as the Furis goes, three enemies. I mean, if you can't tell me that ain't a good time, I don't know what to tell you. That's just like burping the gun at him of fire. Hey, look, linked enemies here. Bye, guys. The fucking Furis is fun, okay? It's not like stupid OP, but it is absolutely fun. Here, you know what? Here, have some Storm of Eco, sir. Before them be slashed. Dude, look at that. Damn near got tapped by that Eximus. And you can see by the 160% range on my build, the Storm of Uko range was actually pretty solid. You know, just get all my energy just in case. Swing at me, motherfucker, die. Excuse me, sir, can you burn? All them little babies gonna burn. Yeah, until the overguard situation gets fixed, I would highly recommend getting very good at dodge rolling with against Eximus, like the any of the Arson Eximus variants, because that big wave will fuck up your day. See what I mean? You hit the overguarded enemy and it just kind of dampens it. Yeah, this thing's a good fucking time, man. See, like the Ceramic Dagger just as a space function. Ooh. Knocked me down 1,000 health and completely annihilated my overguard. Good times. Yeah, this guy is not a fan. Hey, fuck out of here, that. And see, like, running around like this, if you've got Arcane Grace on here, you can technically get away with, if you're just trying to health tank, you can get away with running adaptation. Bye, Angst. And the only reason I didn't just one-tap Angst there is because I literally had no combo built up. If I would have had combo built up, that would have been a serious one-shot. Not even kidding, guys. I mean, this thing will one-tap every fucking acolyte out there. Violence is the only slightly problematic one, but if you catch Violence as soon as the fucker spawns, it's no big deal. It's really not. Violence is no problem as long as you are able to hit Violence right from the get. Oh no, no overguard. Hey, bud. It's a bad day for him, man.
When you are ready, go to extraction.
So, Calervo. I want to put Calervo in the realm of goddamn, he's exceptionally good. I will put him because of the overguard problem and the fact of adaptation not functioning right. Like, okay, so here's my thing, right? Like, overguard is not shields and it's not armor. It's just like an extra layer of protection. Personally, I think that if something, an element hits overguard, I personally feel like adaptation should kick in. If the overguard is going to melt down this quickly, I'm fine with that, but I would really like to see, you know, like adaptation be usable in the build with overguard. If it's going to remain weak and they can't find a way to fix the problem, then at least let, you know, adaptation kick in and assist with the incoming damage. That way you don't potentially get one-tapped by an Arson Eximus and just absolutely get annihilated, because it can happen. But as you can see, his third ability is absolutely devastating with the right weapons. The Ceramic Dagger is it's low damage, but it's very good because it thanks to Blood Rush and then obviously just the weapon building in itself, it's just quite devastating. Even just using it on a heavy attack basis with Calervo, you build up a little combo and just heavy attack like an idiot and just go ham. The Tord will be coming up, so obviously that's why I pulled that off. And then, like I said, Calervo as a whole, I think has the potential to be one of the most devastating frames in this game if they do a couple of little tweaks. Right now, I find him exceptionally fun. No joke. I think he is exceptionally fun. So y'all take the information as you will. I want to thank you very much for watching. As always, we'll catch you in the next one, all right?